literally everything is a learning experience. Everything is an opportunity to grow and become a little bit better. We all need to know our own limits, know what we can do. And so if we wake up and we're a little under the weather, we got a bit of a scratchy throat, we're starting to get a little bit congested, but that's about it. Like, we don't need to just immediately plop down and give up. If you're typically a very active person, you do a lot of things in your day. If you go from all the way up there at 100 all the way down to 0, that could mess some things up too, I would have to imagine, right? You're used to all these things, and then all of a sudden you're just laying on the couch all day not doing anything. And I mean, although it's not a bad thing to be resting in that moment, like, you got to be honest with yourself. And if there's some easier tasks, you could probably write in your journal. You could probably read at least a few pages of your book. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could probably muster up the courage to take 5 to 10 minutes to take care of some dishes. And again, I'm not saying like you can't miss work, even if you have a 103-degree fever, go hit a extremely intense, people suck at driving. I'm not saying go hit your normal intensity workout, because that's going to absolutely crush you. And you're going to be, even if you don't have the flu at that point, you're probably going to feel like you have the flu as far as body aches go. But I'm saying just do a couple things. Do the easier things at the very least. Otherwise you're going to have a bunch of anxiety start to build up, whether you feel like it or not. You're not being productive. You're not getting your to-do list done. You're not checking things off. And I should clarify too that I do regard myself as a bit of a psychopath when it comes to, things like this, getting stuff done, not making excuses. If what I'm saying is like, dude, no, when I'm sick, no. Then fair enough, click off the video. But if you are somebody who's more so wired like me, then welcome. Glad you're here. And even if you are somebody who's not wired quite like me, I'm glad you're here too. And I hope that, what I have to say in this video and all other videos, you can draw from it, and you can, take a little bit of value, take something away from it, take something from my perspective. In all honesty, I would love to be able to take something away from your perspective on life, the way you view things, the way you go about and do things. We can all learn from each other. We just kind of need to get rid of that ego and just understand, like, we all are living our own different lives, different experiences. We're all like incredibly unique. I've touched on that in past videos, but like, there will be trends on TikTok and stuff every now and then, or whatever else, about a very seemingly specific description about something that a person used to do in their childhood, and then it has just millions of likes, and every comment is saying like, not one single unique experience. But even though we share very similar experiences from our past, and some of us do, right? But there are still people in those comment sections on no matter how many likes a video like that ends up with, no matter how many comments there are saying like, oh, not one single unique experience in this life, things like that. I'm not kidding. If you've never seen them, they're out there, and they are pretty cool actually, just to see like, damn, everybody was doing this, huh? But what I'm getting at is, even if we've all lived through these very similar experiences growing up throughout our lives and teenage years and transitioning into adulthood, within all of those similar experiences in our own lives, right? We've all had unique parents, unique families in general, unique friend groups. We grew up in different areas. You know what I mean? So like, to say that there's no uniqueness or very little uniqueness about this life and our lives in general compared to the next one is really just arrogant, in my opinion. Like, there's so much. Oh, gotta love a little fender bender in the morning. I was wondering why we were creeping so slow. Looks like everybody's all right. Kind of a nasty one though. I wonder what happened there, huh? The uniqueness of every single person's experience is actually quite astounding. And I think we lose focus on that fact way too often. So no matter what it is, if you're down with some sort of illness right now, or maybe you're suffering from a migraine attack, perhaps you're at home recovering from some sort of surgery, or maybe you feel off right now and you felt off for a long time, and you attribute that feeling to you not being as productive as you would like, or not going after the things that you want to go after potentially. Well, no matter what situation you're in right now, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what cards life has dealt you at this point, let's just try and do a little bit. Rest is very important. Ensuring that our bodies and our minds are fully healed and ready to go is important. But also keep in mind that there's literally never going to be a perfect moment for anything. We tell ourselves that we need to wait for this circumstance or that circumstance to become reality for us to act upon something, but by the time that thing does fall in front of us, does fall in line, a million other things that were already in line are now no longer in line, and we feel like we need to wait longer for these other things to get back in line. So there's never going to be a perfect moment. We just got to do it. We just got to go. No matter what stage you're started from, no matter what frame you're started from, just remember that all you can do is start with a little bit and let your body, let your mind, let your soul naturally build up a resistance to the pain. It might be actual pain, working out, things like that. Not actual pain either, but, the muscles burning because you're working them, you're breaking them down. Excuse me, Sir Semi, that is the white line you're riding upon. I would appreciate it if you don't hit me. Thank you. But whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to add in, healthy habits, positive habits, start little. No matter what you're doing, you should always set your expectations for yourself, and especially others, a little bit low. For others, maybe a lot a bit low. And just remember that, you can only be pleasantly surprised as long as you're willing to put in that hard work and put in that effort. More than likely, you will only be pleasantly surprised by yourself and others. But oftentimes, we make the mistake of setting those expectations extremely high, and then we're disappointed. And since those expectations have already been set so high, we decide that, we don't want to try these certain things out anymore. We don't want to give them another chance because we've already been disappointed, and we don't want to be disappointed again because disappointment is oftentimes related to failure, and we really, really, really don't like failure, do we? But through starting small and setting our expectations a little bit lower than we think, and that's a little bit of a contradictory statement, and maybe I'm not phrasing it as best as I could be, but basically what I'm trying to say is just because we have lower expectations doesn't mean we should slack off and be lazy. We should set a little bit lower expectations, but work just as hard as we were planning to regardless. And through that is where we're going to see pleasant surprises from ourselves and others. So no matter where you're at, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're suffering from, I'm challenging you today to start small. Just start with a little bit. No matter what it is, no matter what area that is in, start with a little bit. Do a little bit more today, and then try and do a little bit more the next day, and the next, and the next. I challenge you to allow that compounding effect, that snowball effect, to build up in your life. Thanks for checking this one out. Truly appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.